Hi everyone, and welcome to episode 17 of At the Window podcast. I'm your host Claire, and this is my lovely little kitten Frida, who is beautiful but does not like being picked up, so she's gonna get put down now. Thank you for joining. If you're a new viewer, thank you for checking me out, and if you're a returning viewer, thank you even more. And also, if you've been watching any of my Vlogmas videos and especially if you've taken the time to comment, thank you so much, because I've really enjoyed making those. I've kind of not done a traditional Vlogmas because I thought that was a bit overcommitting, and as I'll talk about during the podcast, definitely was overcommitting because I've been quite ill. Frida's eating her food. Yeah, so I've kind of done a 12 days of Christmas type thing. I think I've got like a couple more days to do, but I've been... Frida! Off. She knows she's not allowed on the worktop, so the second I sit down to do anything, she tries and does it. Yeah, I've done a 12 days of Christmas type thing, so I've got a few more days to do. And if you commented or anything like that, or sent me an Instagram message, I know a few of you guys have, thank you so much. It's really nice to know that people are watching and enjoying them, because I don't get an awful lot of interaction on my podcasts. I think mostly because I don't really intersect my Instagram and my podcast. I don't know why. Something that I'm going to try and do more of in 2018. So anyway, that was a bit of a long-winded intro. I'm your host Claire. I don't know if I said that. I'm coming from a festive but very grey corner of Berkshire, and you're just going to have to excuse the noise in the background. Having a cat is beautiful, but sometimes having a kitten, which is what she is quite a challenge. So if she's entertaining herself, then I'll just let her go with it. God knows what it's like to have a child. Jesus. Yeah, I've written some notes. Try to be useful this time. I'm in a weird thing. I don't have a lot to talk about, but I do have a lot to talk about, but they're not very interesting things to talk about, so it might be a quite quick podcast. Yeah, so I hope you like my festive background. I've decorated my flat for Christmas. And yeah, I'm feeling quite cozy. So maybe I'll just jump in to works in progress, of which I only have a couple really, because I've been so manically trying to get on with people's gifts for Christmas. So one of them is almost finished, to be honest, and I'll probably finish it off later this afternoon when I finish this. I'm going to sneeze. Oh, sorry. So I, very last minute, of course, like always, decided I wanted to make some socks for friends, so had a mad rush, but I'm quite impressed at how many I've managed to churn out. So these are just some little house socks for a friend. I've made her something else for Christmas anyway, so I just thought I'd give her something else, and they're just some little, got a bit of a hole here with this one. I think it's where I did the two different colour heels, the two-tone. These are the Royal City roller socks. She's got tiny little feet as well, so she doesn't take up much yarn. And this is just literally a scrap that I've got left, and it really is just a scrap, because I've got to the point now I need to do the contrast toe on the other sock, and I have this much left. So I've organised that very well, unintentionally. So I'm quite glad. So I've used up most of that ball of yarn, which is good. This one is a bit neater, I think, because my second one. These are my ends to sew in. But yeah, so I should finish those tonight. And they're not majorly interesting, but they're something to tick off my list, and I thought she'd quite like those. They're just little house socks, really. 2.25 millimeter needles. The yarn is, I think it's a Drops Fable. It's some my mum gave me that she'd knit some socks for my aunt and uncle out of. She did the purple for my aunt and the grey for my uncle, and yeah, she just had some left over, so she gave it to me to put in my granny stripe blanket. But I thought they were quite nice colours together, so yeah. I did the Fish Lips Kiss heel, which the pattern doesn't call for, so I'm hoping, I did the inch above the heel like it said, so I'm hoping these are okay, but I'm sure they will be. Yeah, so that's whip number one, and that'll be finished tonight, which is quite good because I really want to work on the next project. So this is the last of my gift knitting, if you will. Oh, it started raining again. Yeah. It's very dreary today outside. I feel like I'm sitting very low in this frame. Let me try and sit up a bit. Anyway, the other project, which is in this lovely bag my mum made me for Advent last year. It's something that I really want to work on, but I cast it on and then I've not touched it for ages. So yeah, the pattern I've got printed out here, but this is, yeah, I don't know if I've got a picture of it. It's the All About That Brioche Shawl by Lisa Hans. I knit this, my pink and grey, it's the Neon Peach colourway from Madeline Tosh. You might have seen me wearing it on here, or you might remember it from when I knit it. I knit that pattern, and I cast on a few shawls for this yarn, and I just wasn't feeling any of them. I just really wasn't like in love with the swatch of any of them, so I did swatches, and I just wasn't feeling it. So I thought, I love that shawl, I wear it so much, it would be nice to have a neutral one. So I cast it on out of this yarn that I got last time, which I think you might remember. So these are the two colours. This is Driftwood Graffiti by La Bien-Aimée. So they're both merino singles. It's this beautiful colour with this like neutral grey with these orangey rusty flecks in. Beautiful. And then Kitten is this grey, warm grey brown type colour from Madeline Tosh. This is Tosh Merino Light. And I thought together they were just really lovely colours. I don't actually know how much of this I've knitted. More than I thought actually. So I've knit this much out of it. Oh, look how beautiful this is. And it's so incredibly soft. And it's garter stitch, which is so yummy to knit. So you just sit and work on this beautiful garter stitch, and then you do some brioche bands. And it's so lovely to work on. Pretty sure the pattern's paid for, so I don't want to go into too much, but is it paid for? It must be paid for. It was the first one I've ever done brioche on, and the instructions are written so well if you've never done brioche. It does say it's great for a beginner if you've never done brioche, and I would highly, highly recommend it for that reason also, because I'd never done it. I did the swatch like she told you to for the first one, and just getting into the hang of how you do brioche, like sliding things backwards and forwards, or just like starting again at the beginning of the row more than anything, that takes a little bit of getting used to. And I've still not worked out how to like drop down if you ruin a stitch, but maybe I will on this, because this will be my second brioche project. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to working on this, and it's going to be, I'm going to do it tonight basically. As soon as those socks are finished, I'm going to get this on and really work on it, because I really want to wear this while it's cold. Yeah, I don't think there's much to say other than that. Needles I'm using for what calls for in the pattern, which I can't remember. .5mm. And there's a picture of it if you are interested, but this is black and white. So yeah, if you go to my, I don't know if I've got a proper picture of it actually. I was going to say if you go to my project page for my pink and grey one, you'll see it on there, but I really don't think I've ever taken a proper picture of it, which is naughty of me. Anyway, I'll do that at some point. Anyway, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful shawl. It's going to be gorgeous when I finish it, and I can't wait. But I've been so good about not knitting on it, and I've been monogamously doing these other projects, which I'll talk about now. So the first one I didn't really think about showing you guys, because I wrapped it up already because it's a present for someone. So I mentioned it in the other podcast, in the last podcast. I bought some yarn, which I don't even have here either because I've used it all. It was the Bergère de France Ideal double knit, and I got it in the, I can't remember what the colourway was called, but it's basically basket or something in French, basket weave or something in French. It's like a really neutral. I'll try and put it on screen if I can remember, but I don't think I can. Either way, just go to my Ravelry project page, which is linked down below. So it was, oh, just preface this whole section actually. If I know you in real life, stop watching. I don't know that anyone does. I think one person might, and there might be something here for you, Emma, if you're watching this. I don't know if you'll watch this video. If you are my friend in real life or you're my family, stop watching, because there's going to be something for you here now. So please stop watching. Please. Please. Yeah, so anyway, the project was, I talked about making a shawl for my friend Amy, who just had a baby. It was kind of like a nursing shawl, but basically something to wear around her to keep her warm. I was going to do the, I don't know what I was going to say I was going to do with it. Oh, that was it. I said I was going to do the Passe Partout, I think it's called, shawl, but I can't remember who it was by. But in the end I swatched it and I just didn't like the way it turned out. I didn't like the fabric and the pattern was kind of confusing. I just didn't think it was particularly well written. So I had a look at some other books and patterns, and the one I decided to do was the perpendicular shawl from a Pom Pom. And again, I can't remember the person's name who did it, but it was from, I think it was a spring issue of Pom Pom this year, or maybe last year. And yeah, it's really lovely, interesting construction. It's paid for, or you buy the magazine, but you kind of knit it one way and then you do like a lace panel in the middle and then you knit the other way. So I did take some pictures of it, so I will insert those now. But unfortunately I just didn't think, and I wrapped it up already, so I could have unwrapped it to show you guys, but nah. So I was really pleased with how that turned out. It was a super quick knit. That yarn was really, really nice. I thought it'd be really good like gift knitting type project yarn, because it's a superwash, so it's really good for people that don't have the inkling or the time or whatever to hand wash knitted projects, but you want to make them something hand knitted and you know they'd appreciate it. That's that kind of person. Also, because my friend's got a baby and everything, I just thought, nope, just get something that she can bung in the washing machine, because what if baby's sick on it or something like that. So yeah, really pleased with how that turned out. Really loved it. It was a great pattern to knit. The garter stitch did get a little dull towards the end of that, because there's a lot of garter stitch and it's just backwards and forwards, increasing or decreasing. Yeah, it's good TV knitting, I would say. I was off on my sick leave when I was doing it, so actually it was kind of good for that, because it was just kind of mindless and I could just sit and do it. But yeah, I'm quite pleased that I finished that. I've done a lot now, I think, about what I've made whilst I've been, yeah, with my bad planning. So anyway, 3 things I do have to show you now are some socks. So here they all are. Some of them have been sewn in, some of them haven't. The first were the ones that were driving me actually mental. These are my dad's Christmas present. These are some grey socks for him. They're a ribbed pattern, just a 3x1 rib with a 1x1 cuff. So I tried a different toe on these, don't like it. I tried a rounded toe for a toe up sock. It just looks really messy, I think. I much prefer this toe. So I'm just going to stick with this one. Or even, yeah, this one. I just didn't like it. So yeah, apart from that, these socks just took forever. They just felt like they took so long because they are such long socks. I have my sock ruler here, which is coming useful. And look, they're basically the length of this sock rule. He's got size 13 feet. And for size 13, it says to do them 32 centimetres long, which is longer than this, because it only goes up to 12, size 12 this. So yeah, that's really great. So they've got, I knit socks because how I like them. I like them to have some negative ease, because I always find once you've worn hand knit socks a couple of times, because I don't know about you, but I don't wash my hand knit socks after every time I've worn them, because I don't generally feel they need it. I think with commercial socks, I kind of am a bit more rough with them, so I do think they need it. But hand knit socks I either wear as an extra layer in my boots just to keep my feet warm, or just in bed or around the house. So they do sometimes get dirty, and some of them I do wash after each time I've worn them. Some of them I just don't feel need it. So because of that, I find when you wear them a couple of times, they do go a bit sloppy because they haven't got the elastic in to keep them in shape. Therefore, I always knit them with more negative ease than you probably would like from a sock. And I find that maybe the first time you wore them, they're a little bit tight, and then after that, they just fit perfectly. So I always err on the side of caution and make one a bit smaller than potentially you would want, or than the pattern would recommend. So these might be a little bit small from at first, but I think they'll be good. And they're super soft because he's a bit of a princess and doesn't want anything itchy. And also, he keeps complaining he's getting cold feet because we think he's got some circulation problem, which he won't go to the doctors about. Parents. So I thought it'd be quite good for him when he's like out and about, like at the allotment and stuff. So that's his Christmas present. I've also got him a bottle of wine, which is actually on the table over there, waiting to go to my mum and dad's. So yeah, present number one. These took forever. These are the ones that were painful. I knit them at the same time, so I had them on 2 separate needles, which I think was also annoying me because it meant that I couldn't knit any other socks because I had them both on my favourite pair of sock needles. I've got 2 ChiaoGoo red lace ones like this, and I knit all my socks on 2.25. Though actually I'm wondering whether I could start going a bit smaller even, because I think my gauge is getting tighter. I don't know, I'm wondering whether I could go down a size to a 2, but whatever, that's another conversation. So I was getting annoyed with these because I couldn't knit any other socks, and they were just taking forever, and they're not even that interesting colour to knit. At least these 2 that I've got here were a bit more fun colour wise, but these were just a slog. But I know he'll like them, so yeah. The yarn is some old Fibre Spates Scrumptious 4-ply, which I frogged from something else, and I've still got loads of it left. So I might knit myself some out of this because actually it feels really soft, and it would be nice to have a nice textured pair or something for like bed. I feel like that would be quite nice. So yeah, that one done. All good, out the way, done. The next pair I made with another friend who also has very small feet. I love that all my friends are midgets, basically. I'm pretty tall, my family are pretty tall. I am 5'10" and a half, my dad's over 6 foot, my brother's over 6 foot, my other brother's the same height as me. So if I'm knitting them for my family, I know I have to knit big socks. Whereas I'm knitting them for my friends, they've all got tiny little feet and they're so quick to knit socks for, so I quite like knitting them for socks. So the next pair I did for a friend at work, and I think I shaded this yarn last time. I think it was one that I bought recently on it's got to be Wool Warehouse, because I don't buy anything off Love Knitting really. I always think it's the other way around, but it's got to be Wool Warehouse, yeah. This is an opal colourway, opal yarn in, I want to say it's called the Wandering Sheep colourway. I maybe wrote it down here actually. Da, 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 da. Aha, it is the Opal Wandering Sheep range, and this colour is 8904, but you can probably find it if you just look at online which one it is. 8904. So again, I did a toe up. I followed the directions on this. This is my sock ruler I got. I know roughly that they're down this end, my friend, in the feet, and I just kind of picked the smaller size and did that because again, the whole negative ease thing I was talking about. So I did a toe up, Judy's Magic cast on. This is my sock recipe, by the way. So Judy's Magic cast on 24 stitches over 2 needles, so 12 on each. Increase every other round at either end of each needle until I have either 28, depending on how small the person's foot is, 30, generally my standard, or 32 if I'm doing them for me. And then knit for however long I need, bar 5 centimetres. So I knit however long I need to do minus 5 centimetres. Do a fish lips kiss heel or short row heel. Don't know which one this was. I think this is a fish lips kiss heel. Yeah, it looks like a twin stitch. And then knit an extra inch after the heel like it recommends. Thought I could hear Frida. And then knit the cuff as long as I want. And then my go-to now is 15 to 20 rounds of 1x1 twisted rib for the cuff. And that's these. I really like this. I've got quite a lot of this yarn left. I think it's in here maybe. Oh, can you see me rubbing my lips, by the way? This cold weather and being ill has played absolute havoc on my skin. Here it is. I've got loads of this left, so I think I'm going to get myself a pair of this because I really like this yarn. Yeah, I've got really sore lips, so if you see me picking at them, please tell me not to. And yeah, so those I've actually sewn the ends in. I've sewn the ends on my dad's as well. So those, I'm probably going to see her next week. Noisy cars. So I will give those to her, but I need to take a picture of them first because I do. But when do I take a picture and the light is so bad, let's be honest. And then the other ones I just finished this weekend. Same thing, I did these slightly smaller because they think they've got slightly smaller feet. Judy's Magic cast on, blah blah blah. Same everything. I did the cuff slightly longer on these, I thought, because the fit was slightly smaller, so I did a slightly longer cuff, and then not a slightly longer leg, not a cuff, and then the cuff like normal, and I need to sew the ends in on these. So this yarn was the Opal Fresh and Juicy in the 9364 colourway, and I think it's like chocolate smoothie or something. So yeah, I really like this colourway, and again I've got a fair bit of this left over, so might make myself some out of that as well. So that's quite nice. I'm pleased with these. So like I said, I feel like it's not a very interesting podcast what I've got to show you, but I have knit a fair bit, you know. So that's those, and actually I didn't plan for them to match, but they basically match, which is quite good. And these I need to sew the ends in. I don't know why I left this so long. What was I thinking? Yeah, fish lip kiss heels. Whilst for me and my foot, I would knit a heel flap if I had the time and the inclination. I do think they fit better. However, as gift socks, and the fact that I'm probably not going to fit them perfectly anyway, because I don't have like a cut out of their foot and I'm not like measuring and all that kind of junk, I would rather just do something that's quicker and I can get it done, as opposed to a well-fitting one, which makes me sound maybe a bit lazy, but that's the way I see it, to be honest. So I always do fish lip kiss heels on gift socks. So I'm quite pleased with those. Churned out a fair few socks, which I'm quite pleased with, and I don't know how many that means I've done this year. I think, I was going to check, but it's on my phone. I want to finish my Clark socks before Christmas, so I might pick those up as a sock project whilst I'm doing my shawl. And then I've got a Christmas Eve one that I want to cast on, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. But really then that kind of, I'm pleased with the amount of socks I've done. I aimed to try and do 12. I did 12 last year, even though I was casting them off on New Year's Eve. I was aiming to do 12. I did 12 last year. I was aiming to do 12 this year. I think if I can finish off the ones that I've got on my needles, which I'm pretty sure is not going to happen, because those Twiller ones are just, they take a long time because they're colour work, I would get them done. But who knows, maybe I won't. A man walking past my apartment and staring in, thank you matey. Maybe I won't knit on the shawl, and maybe I'll try and finish all my socks so I can get 12 done this year, just so I can say I've done it. Who knows? Probably not, but I'll see. So anyway, socks galore for presents, and I'm very pleased with that. So let me go back to what else I'm going to talk about. Oh, so there's a couple of other things that I sewed as well that I wanted to talk about, even though I don't have them with me. I was going to insert some pictures. So the things that one of them I gave to my friend. Don't know what is it today with people staring in my flat. Maybe because I'm staring back at them. Maybe that's it. Yes, so I made some stockings for my friend, and I'm pretty sure I didn't show you these last time. If I did, then just ignore me, but they're all finished now, and I gave them to her and she really loves them, so I'm really pleased with that. I made her 2 little stockings for her cats so she can hang them up at Christmas, because I'm mental and she loves her cats too and I love mine. So I'm going to insert a picture here of what they look like when they're finished. So I was really pleased with how they turned out. She really liked them. I hand stitched the name on the front and the what do you call it, the cat shape to the front, the felt shape, and then I sewed the outline by machine and I hand stitched the little loop on. So yeah, I'm really pleased with how they turned out. And then I also made some little like project bags for my crochet friends, and I filled them with a little hand stitched like felt decoration, which I think I showed you guys, and some biscuits that I made. And I've got a little picture of those here, and they were reversible, so one side was Christmas themed and one side was just like fabric that I thought they'd like. So my friend Kirsty, who likes beach huts and beachy things, I found some beach hut fabric and put that inside. One of her friends is Isabel, who really likes sewing and stuff. She ended up makes her own clothes. I found some tape measure fabric and hers went inside. So things like that. Yeah, so I've got a little picture of them with their tags on, which are ready to go, which I'll insert here as well. So yeah, I'm really pleased with all the like handmade things that I made this year. It was something that I spoke about this on a Vlogmas video. It was something that I really wanted to try and do. I wanted to make more things because I have, and how it's worked out this year, I've been off quite a lot before Christmas. I have the time, I have the willingness to do so, and I know that some friends really appreciate it, and I really enjoy making things for people. So it was something that I really wanted to try and do. Try and be a bit more conscious about things that I buy as well. Not to sound too preachy, and if someone got me something from like a big box store, I would still obviously really appreciate the thought that got into it and everything like that. Just personally, I'm trying to be more conscious in where I buy things from, making more ethical purchases and more sustainable purchases as well. I'd rather give stuff to people that they can reuse rather than something that's just going to be thrown away after Christmas or kind of put in a cupboard and not looked at. I want to give things that are lovely and thought has gone into them, and yeah, my way of doing that is making things for people. So I'm really pleased about how I've done that. If I've not made things, I've tried to buy from small businesses or local businesses and things like that. So I'm kind of, again, trying to be a bit more conscious and ethical about where I purchase things from. I'm not perfect, obviously. I've still bought some stuff from Amazon. I've still bought some stuff from John Lewis, like places like that. I'm just trying my little bit to be a bit more, yeah, conscious. And again, it's kind of like, I was watching things like, I'm not a vegetarian, but I'm trying to eat more vegetarian meals with the hope that I could get to that at some point. I do buy things with plastic on, but again, I'm trying to make more effort to buy less plastic, consume less like plastic and things like that in general. So it's just, I feel like if everyone made a bit more effort, it could do a lot of make a big difference. So that's my ethos on things. I know I'm not perfect and I'm never going to be like an eco warrior, but I just think everybody did my bit. So that's that. So I've made some little bags, I made some stockings. The other thing I'm still making, which I think you'll have seen if you follow my Vlogmas, is the advent calendar I'm making for my friend, for her little baby, which is so close to being finished. I've sewn all the numbers onto the stockings pockets, and I'm going to my mum's probably tomorrow or probably Tuesday to sew it all together, and then I need to hand stitch a name on and attach some sort of hanging mechanism, which will probably be like a sleeve on the back, and then that's done. So even though you probably won't see it finished, I'm going to try and take a lot of pictures of it, and then I'm seeing her on Wednesday. So yeah, I get this kind of nervousness that I think, like, going back to all this stuff about handmade stuff, I love handmade presents. Like this year, it's kind of a boring thing, my washing machine broke, so I had to ask for basically some money towards that for Christmas from my parents, which is a bit rubbish. But my mum said she'd get me a few little things anyway, and I was like, please just maybe make me a few things. So one of the things I was going to show you at the end is this beautiful table runner she's made me. I've asked for like maybe a couple of project bags. She's made me some socks. I know I want like a needle book to put needles in, because otherwise they're just stuck in pin cushions like this, which is not ideal. Yeah, so I really love getting handmade gifts, but I still get this like sense of nervousness that people are going to just want, like, I don't know, something that's not handmade when I give them something. So I don't know, I think that's just me being a bit overthinkingness of my head. I don't know. So anyway, so I'm giving it on Wednesday, and I know that Amy loves, well, she says she loves everything that I gave her, but I just get a bit, don't know, funny. So that's beside the point. Anyway, I do have some stash additions, but maybe I'll show you the table runner because I just mentioned it. It's going to go on this table here. I've got one here already, but that fits the dresser in my bedroom, and I want to move it in there and have something bigger here, because I don't normally have my table out. If you've watched before, I normally have it folded away and pushed against the wall. I brought it out so I could put my tree on it, and actually it's made me sit there to eat so much more. I think because when it's against the wall, I feel a bit like I'm staring at the wall when I eat, and I just find that a bit awkward. So I've pulled it out, and actually I've been sitting there a lot more and just using it to like write and do stuff instead of sitting on the floor, which is better for me, I think. So yeah, I'm really enjoying having it out, and I think it's going to stay out for a bit, even after Christmas is gone. Yeah. But yeah, it's got my little tree on. At the moment I've got some candles burning, and I've got this one, this is a fake tree, but it's quite a realistic one, which I like. But I've got this little candle burning, which was from HomeSense, TK Maxx, and it smells so much like a pine tree. It's so nice. You know, you can buy like those pine kind of scented things, and they just kind of smell a bit like pine toilet cleaner. Not like this at all. It smells 100% like a pine tree, and I love it. So it kind of makes me feel like I've got a real tree because I love the smell. So anyway, so this, that very long-winded story, this is going to go on the table after this podcast. I just wanted to show you guys first, and then I've got to clear that off, and I wanted to look nice for the podcast. So I chose this material. This is all material my mum had like in her stash. So when I was looking for the stuff for the advent calendar for Amy, I came across all these other colours, and I was like, oh, these are all really lovely kind of me kind of Christmas colours, and they go with some decorations I've got in the house, I thought. So I said, oh, what can I make with this, to my mum? And we thought about it, and she said, well, how about making a little table runner? And then I was a bit worried about it in case it went, if I had a table how it used to be, Mum was like, I'll make it so it goes down the sides. And I was a bit worried about Frida trying to jump on it and pulling stuff on top of her. So she's made it a bit bigger, and actually, again, it will make me have a table out because it fits the table size and everything. So yeah, this is how, I'm just going to cover my face up for a minute, but look how beautiful this is. Isn't it gorgeous? So there's this mitten fabric which I have something, oh, pardon me, which I've got some like a bowl holder made out of. These kind of nice Scandi fabrics. This one, which I absolutely love, is this little houses. They remind me of kind of Dutch houses, and they've got little gold bits on. I just think it's really adorable. What else is there? Oh yeah, I've got just these really cute little Scandi type ones, which I really like. and then some plain red and green in between. And yeah, I think it's absolutely gorgeous. But she just like whips this up in like an afternoon, and I'm just baffled by my mum how she does these things. Like, it just, I know she's a lot older than me, and I like to hope that maybe one day when I'm her age I will be able to do this, but she doesn't. She's just insane. I love her to pieces. And yeah, I love it. And it's just got a white backing, which I really like. Yeah, so that's going to go on my table. And I'm in love with it. Yeah. So it's festive-y without being over the top, I thought. I mean, if it didn't have the mittens in, well, it's not really Christmassy anyway, it's just kind of like wintry, to be honest. The mittens are the only thing that make it kind of Christmassy, and the houses, because they've got little Christmas trees in front. But apart from that, and then the mittens, which I think are adorable. And, oh, my rug just fell off. And before I show you the last few things, just on the subject of saying things, I know I showed it on my Vlogmas, but I don't think I wouldn't have shown it on here. So let me get this other thing very quickly. Okay, so I'm not going to cry about this now, but I definitely shed a tear almost. I got all like teary-eyed when my mum showed me this, and I kind of waxed lyrical about it on the podcast, so I apologise if you're watching this again. This is about the stocking. Look at my beautiful baby Frida's stocking my mum made her. Isn't it the most gorgeous thing in the world? I've got my own, I should have got you that, but I can't bother to get up again now. But isn't it beautiful? Look at this. Look at the little hand-stitched Frida. And then her little name. And this lovely pom-pom trim. And the lining. And it's all just so perfect. And I love it so much. Because my Frida's my little baby. And it matches mine. And I've got them either side of the doorway in my living room. And this is what I mean about my mum just being so clever. Like, I drew the little kitten shape for her based off a picture I'd seen online, and just went, there you go, something like that. And then she comes out with this. And isn't it gorgeous? And it's something that I'm so going to treasure forever. Like, literally all my life now. Oh, so love her. Love my mum. Ridiculous. Anyway, so that's all I'm going to show you. And yeah, just a couple of additions which I wanted to talk you through, because actually I didn't think this podcast would be very long, but we're getting on for it now. So this is what I'm calling my sock yarn bag, because my stash is starting to get too big for the box. The one box rule isn't really working. Oops. So I took the label off this one. I don't know what I did with it. So I showed you this last time. This is the Yarn Lab, which I find it very hard to say. The Slug Club Christmas Party colourway, which was going to be my Christmas Eve cast on, and I'm pretty sure it still will be. But then I placed an order on Nora George Yarns. I actually managed to catch an update, which was really cool, and I got these two colourways, which, so this one I think is absolutely gorgeous. This is the November colourway, which I really love because it reminds me of fireworks, and I love these kind of purpley blue bits in here with these red and these oranges, and absolutely love this, and it looks just like what it did on the website. This one I am a teeny bit disappointed in. It wasn't, I tried to find a picture of it on the website to compare again, but it didn't really look like the colour that it was. So I like this colour, don't get me wrong. it has grown on me a lot since I bought it, but I was a bit annoyed. I know like hand-dyed yarn has variations and stuff, but it didn't really look anything like it. So it's a really pretty colour, but the colour that it looked online was like a white base with some pink and green and purple flecks. This is December colourway, by the way. Whereas this is like a pink base with some green bits in. And it's still lovely, don't get me wrong. I'm not a pink person. I probably wouldn't have bought this knowing it was pink. And there was another colourway I was umming up about buying. But I went for this one instead because I like the white with the green. So it's still lovely, don't get me wrong, and it still make a lovely present for someone. I'm just not going to wear this colour probably. I wear it in socks. It's just there's a lot of this baby pink, and that baby pink wasn't online. And this is quite pink as it is. I don't need 2 pink pairs of socks. So anyway, those are my 2 new additions. They're both lovely. This one is definitely going to be for me, but this one I think I'll make something and gift to someone. Just because the pink. If it was just this purple and this green, it would be so lovely. It's just there's a lot of baby pink on it. I don't know. Am I being too picky over this? Maybe. So my point after all that anyway was I don't know what to be my Christmas Eve cast on out of these really. I think it's still going to be this, but then I need to find a pattern for it, and I don't know what that pattern will be. Oh, it smells sheepy, that one. This one doesn't smell like nothing. Probably smells like my flat. This one smells sheepy. Yeah, any pattern recommendations out of this? Or whether I just do a vanilla sock? I don't know. It's really nice though. I'm really looking forward to knitting with this. I'm going to cake that up one day. So those are my new bits, and then yeah, I think that's it now. So just a very quick bit of ramble, and again, if you've been following my Vlogmas, hint hint hint, you would know about this. So when I podcast last, I think I was just getting ready to go back to work after being signed off sick, and I went back, and then whilst I was on leave I applied for lots of jobs, and because I was basically fed up of where I worked, and for a lot of reasons which again I talk about them more in a recent Vlogmas. So I applied for lots of jobs, had a lot of interviews when I came back from leave, and then week before last I handed in my notice at my current job. So I'm now on leave until I start my new job on the 15th of January. So that's very exciting for me. I'm very happy to be out of a kind of a stressful place for me, and something that made me go off sick. So that's very exciting. It means I've got loads of time now to spend with like family and friends leading up to Christmas and after, and yeah, I'm just kind of looking forward to a new start, making some new friends, meeting some new people, all that kind of jazz. Oh, Frida's unearthed herself. I can hear her scratching. Frida! So that's happened, and then so my last official day in the office was on Wednesday this week, and then it was also a Christmas party. I think it turns out I had food poisoning or stomach flu or something, because I was sick at the Christmas party, and I ain't never sick. I haven't drunk, basically I can handle my alcohol. I have never been sick. Well, I think the last time I was sick from drinking I was maybe like 15. Like, oh, have you bought me a present, Frida? She's got this, like, you know, a cotton bud, like a cotton bud, and she's managed to pull off both the ends, and it's this chewed up little bit of plastic, but she keeps carrying it everywhere with her and keeps bringing it to me and demanding me play with it with her. So anyway, I was sick at the Christmas party, and I was mortified because I'm never sick from drinking, and then I was sick and it was horrible. Next day I went to my mum and dad's, felt awful all day, got home and was sick that evening, and basically all day of Friday I was just throwing up. So I either had food poisoning or some kind of stomach flu, which I think accounts for being sick at the party. Probably drinking didn't help, I'm not denying that, but ugh, was not good. Yep, so I've been quite ill. I went to my mum and dad's yesterday because they were doing like a lunch thing for my family, and I ate a bit of food there, but as soon as I got home I felt really queasy again today, but then I woke up this morning and I feel much better. I had some breakfast and kept that down. I've had a little bit of lunch and I've kept that down. I'm on some juice which has got all vitamins and stuff in to try and build me back up again. So yeah, not really enjoying my first week off of being sick, but anyway. Yeah, and that's basically it now. So like I said, I've got through most of my Christmas gift making. I've got some foodie bits I want to make for some people that I can kind of do this week, and I'm seeing a few friends for Christmas, and then it's Christmas, going to spend that with my mum and dad, taking little Frida with me, which will be interesting. Then in between Christmas and New Year, doing a few bits, getting my nails done again. Look how good these nails are. Look how shiny. Getting my nails done, seeing some friends, not doing too much for New Year's Eve, just because of Frida really. There's a lot of fireworks around here that go off, and she didn't really enjoy it on fireworks night. She went and hid under the dresser in my bedroom and wouldn't come out for quite a while, so I'm not really a fan of leaving her alone on New Year's Eve, so I think I'll just have a quiet one in with Frida. Yeah, that's okay. Could go to mum and dad's, I suppose, and take her with me, but again, they've got fireworks there, and I think she'd be better off being in her own environment where there's fireworks. Yeah, and then after that, off for the first couple of weeks of January, and then start my new job on the 15th, which is mad, so mad, but exciting. And yeah, I think that's it. So I don't think I'll podcast now. Maybe I'll try and do one between Christmas and New Year, or maybe in the New Year. I'll try and do one by the first week of January. That's my kind of aim. Or before I go back to work, at least. That'll be my aim. And yeah, I'm going to go and tidy up the mess I made, sew in some ends, finish off those socks, and play with Frida, who I think is wanting a bit of attention. So I hope please watch the rest of my Vlogmas. I think it'll be quite nice. Hopefully this week will be a bit better than the week just gone, because I won't be ill. And yeah, if I don't speak to you before then, have a lovely Christmas and a very happy New Year. And yeah, I hope you spend it with all your family and friends. So if I don't speak to you before then, have a very happy Christmas, a wonderful New Year. I hope you spend it with lots of family and friends, and you eat lots of food. And if you don't want to spend it with family and friends, that's fine. Just spend it with your good self, maybe a pet or two, and be merry yourself. And yeah, I think that's everything. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to talk about. No. Alright, I'll see you next time. Bye.